Hey, Jimmy. Good morning, Jimmy. I don't think I'm muted here. Good morning, everybody. I see my audio on. Jimmy, am I muted? I don't think I'm muted. But hey, listen, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Mornings Live with Keith and Friends. I'm like, no, I'm not muted, Jimmy. I'm not muted. Listen, we got an electrifying lineup for you today, from pushing past rejection to setting some. Well, there's the sound I'm looking for. There's the opener. I love live content. You never know it's going to go sideways, but we make it front. What am I saying? Good morning, everybody. We got an electrifying lineup for you guys today, from pushing past rejection to setting world records. We're getting into talking about failing publicly. We had our first guest today bumping out. So Cameron Smedley, who is going to be here today to talk about groundbreaking dental tech. He's just going to be here on Friday with us. So I invite you guys to check in on Friday's show. And hey, listen, would you sleep more for $100? Well, if you're a Whoop employee, you might get that opportunity. We're going to talk about that later on today as well. And we got a bunch of things to get. We got a big event happening in Poland, a 22-hour ice bath we're going to talk about as well. And hey, listen, guys, we're going to break down Winnipeg Jets. We got a Shedeur Sanders conversation coming up this morning. And listen, we got Jon and Marty here today. We got Jimmy on the buttons. We got Melissa behind the scenes. We got everybody rock and rolling here today on Mornings Live with Keith and Friends, the only morning show to help you guys get your ass in bed and get moving in the morning. Don't hit that snooze button, guys. You're 9 minutes behind if you do so. Listen, subscribe, like, and tell all your friends about the greatest morning show in the world, the only morning show for men and women and partners and everybody else who wants to show up with us this morning. Jimmy, let's bring in Johnny and whoever else is here hanging out with us. What's going on, brother? How are you today? How was pickleball yesterday, Johnny?
It was good, actually. Yesterday was the first day that I played where I didn't, because I stretched a hamstring on day two. Yeah. We were here. And so yesterday was the first day where I call it a zinger. I didn't get a zinger, meaning I felt it like I lunged a little too deep, and there it is. It does not like it hurt, like it re-injured, but I could say my hamstring was saying, "Hey, dipshit, stop doing it." So yesterday was the first day without one, which is a good thing. So hopefully today, I need about 2-3 days of that, then I can start to dig a little more.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned hammies, brother. I was doing my yoga, my Wednesday yoga today, and I was doing toe touches and doing a bunch of lower leg activities. And dude, my hammies are tight like a mother effer, man. Holy smokes! I created some awareness this morning that I got some work to do, Johnny. I got some work to do with my hammies.
It's kind of crazy. Well, I was in our 50s now.
Yeah,
and
don't tell nobody.
Well, it's kind of crazy because great shape, but I haven't been doing activities such as the fact that you got to react and change directions, and this is a different type of movement, and so I realize how necessary to have something like this in my life is as I get older.
Oh, absolutely, it is. Do you do a lot of stretching? Like, do you spend a lot of time yourself stretching? Like intentionally stretching?
Well, I mean, ultimately, I'm not really referencing stretching, but I'm referencing all of the movements that expose that I need to stretch. but yeah. Well, here's the thing. And for people that are all bent out of shape about stretching, here's probably the best tip you're ever going to get about stretching.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually twofold. Number one, if you just want to stretch like when you're exercising, once you're done training a muscle, it's tired, it's warm, you can stretch the shit out of it without any pain in just a few short minutes.
Yes.
Bam, it's done. So every time you train a muscle, you stretch it. And if you do this, we're talking 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes tops at the end of your training, and you do it consistently, the game is over. Now, what I like to do, I actually like to multitask. Like when we're doing the show, I'm always stretching a glute or a hammy. I don't know if you saw the last couple of days, you see me switching sides. I'm pulling another leg up,
Yes.
So
when I first started the show, I did the show sitting down, and then I was like, no, I need to get up. I enjoy the energy when I'm talking, when I'm standing, but more importantly, I sit enough throughout the day, John. So I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'm going to get up and do the show standing. Right. So I got a whole standing setup here where I stand for a couple hours. I'm literally standing for the first 4 or 5 hours of the morning before I finally have a seat. And that's on purpose for me because I want to be standing during the show. I just get better energy and then I'm not static. Right. So,
and how, if you were sitting down, how would you rock when you're trying to figure out if you're back on?
That's exactly it. I'd have to get the old rocking chair going frontwards, backwards. So
I would say he's Rain Man, and He's froze. He's Rain Man.
Oh, that's it. Good morning, Cabutan. I see you there in the comments. Thanks for joining myself and Johnny and Marty's company here in a second. The only morning show for men to get your asses out of bed. Guys, I just want to take a quick second to thank you guys here, even for just this after record. Our numbers are looking great. Audience participation is looking great. Engagement's up. Views are up. Watch hours are up. Jimmy, all the numbers are up, and it just means we're showing up every single day and creating great value for these humans. Johnny, we've had some great guests coming to the show lately. We had somebody who's supposed to be on this morning. He got bumped till Friday, but we do have somebody coming in the second hour here today.
Brother, when it comes down to it, we don't even fucking need a guest. A lot of times the guests fucking slow down the roll. Christ, some of these guys, I'm like, you get this fucking guy out of here. Jesus Christ. He's got a few nuggets for us, but we sucked him out, and he's boring as a motherfucker. Let's go.
Good morning, Holroyd. Good morning. I love you, pal. I will. So there's a love-hate with the guests, right? So when we get a great guest, it's great content, great conversation. Then what happens after?
I so understand, brother.
Yeah, and what happens?
I'm just having fun with it.
I know, and you and me both. There's some days I get off the show, I'm like, oh, Jimmy, that guy was kind of boring. He's like, yes. I'm like, we got nothing out of that one.
Oh my God, bro. Check this out. I didn't I listen to what happens yesterday. Holy shit. Oh fuck. Okay. So we do our basically our vets and our doctors down here in Mexico when we're here because they're not the doctors for us are not influenced by insurance. Right.
Okay.
So it's just total true care.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Hold on. Doctors not influenced by insurance.
Yeah. Oh, it's unbelievable. Dude. Unbelievable.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do. And then the vets too. The vets are so much better here. It's like up there, it's like, oh, well, if you need that prescription, you need to bring them in and have an examination. It's a fucking antibiotic, for Christ's sake.
Yes.
What kind of examination do you need anyway? So we do all our shit here. So Kiki, it was perfect timing. We ended up she had some sort of a thing going on with her fucking anal gland. So we make an appointment. We get her in there, and doc says, yeah, we got to give her some medicine. Boom, got it. Come home, right? Then Terry takes both dogs for a quick walk, right? We get home. Kiki takes a dump, right? Yeah. Quickly realize it's fucking green with these little seeds in there. Very clearly she ate some fucking rat poison. We had the exterminator come.
Oh no.
We told the dude, look, we have fucking dogs and little white one will eat anything. So you have to because there's he finds little holes, so he puts them doan the holes. I said you got to put them down the holes, and then you got to rake some dirt over the top, right? And so, of course, this fucking guy didn't listen. I went back and just checked, but he must have put one of these, what I'm talking about. They're little cubes.
I know exactly what you're talking about. 100%.
Yeah. So he must have put one in the little hot water heater house. She must have gone in there and ate it. So we literally found the remnants of where. So we went back. As soon as we saw the shit, we're like, oh, God damn. So, and I'm sitting here thinking, God, did I feed her something that would have turned her poop green?
Yeah.
But we don't give her people food anyway.
Me neither.
We found the remnants of where she had eaten the fucking thing. So, of course, Jesus Christ, Terry fucking flips out, right? So I get on Chat GPT, I call the exterminator. I need you to send me a fucking picture right now. I need to know what that poison is. Find out what it is. Get on Chat GPT. So find out what to call the vet. He's like, you got to get in here right away. Yeah. So we basically get in that Razor. You seen that?
Yeah.
Because that's the fastest fucking vehicle we have. I mean, that thing is crazy fast. Well, I'm not really thinking too clearly because it's crazy fast, but not really designed to go crazy fast on the fucking highway. And so, so we got the dog and we're fucking moving warp speed. I'm going 95 miles an hour in this fucking Razor, right? Yeah. And, this thing is really, it's basically like a roll cage with a huge fucking motor and tires and wheels on it. And it's got big old fucking knobby tires for the fucking beach.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm just floating. This thing is going, it's I'm playing with the wheel and it's this is big fucking trouble. Anyway, so we get there. The doctor he's like, oh, don't worry. We got it in time because she couldn't have passed it in she passes stuff inside of 24 hours. So she eats wood all the time, and I watch her shit it out.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, so he gives her a big fucking shot. Funny enough, of vitamin K.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, what? But it was a massive fucking syringe with probably 7 or 8 cc's. And then we got to give her some medicine, 3 pills a day for 30 days. They got to check her liver for toxicity. But anyway, so we're in the green. But I'll tell you, on the way there, dude, I mean,
that's panic.
Like the highway had like this slight bend in it. And I'm going so fucking fast, we almost didn't fucking make the corner, you know.
That's panic, man. When your baby is, especially with a dog, because you can't, it's your baby, but it's a dog, and it can't.
And Terry was just, I mean, keep in mind, I was really trying to appease Terry.
I was going to say, you had a strong one, yeah.
And I'm fucking, like I said, burning down the freeway, highway, it's just 2-lane, you know what I mean? 2-lane going each direction, 95 miles an hour. And then I look, Jesus Christ, I don't even, because these things come with like 5-point fucking seatbelts.
Yes, I know they do.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't have a fucking seatbelt on, for Christ's sake. You know? Crazy fucking afternoon, say the least.
Oh, I'm glad.
Mark, what's up, brother?
What's up, baby? What's going on, baby? Nothing much over here, man. Just another morning, excited to be back with the guys.
Another morning getting after it, Mr. Marty, Johnny. That's a tragic. So I'm glad that things appear to be going okay, and I'm gonna have my ears and eyes and thoughts on that on Kiki, because
what I did is I'm thinking to myself, I need to understand this.
Yeah,
and of course, a vet like a doctor, his job is to do his thing, but to keep you calm.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yes.
And so I thought, okay, I'm going to get him in. I'm going to get him in it when we're talking to him. I'm just going to kind of nonchalant, not right away. Once he's kind of doing his thing, I'm going to nonchalantly ask him, do you deal with this often? Is this common? I can't remember how I worded it.
Yeah.
And his, not so much the words he said, but how he said it.
Yeah.
And I was like, all I need is a very nonchalant, confident answer. Yes, this is going to be no problem. And that's what he gave me. So I was like, okay, we're good.
It's interesting how demeanor and delivery gives us confidence, eh?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He could have said the same exact words with a choke in his voice, and I'll be like, oh fuck.
Yeah. I know that we obviously had an election here in Canada here in the last couple of days, and one of the comments from the new prime minister, and I can't crack the joke anymore that he wasn't elected because he was officially elected, but one of the comments here in our country was that he speaks with calm, and to a country that's kind of a little nervous because of President Trump and what's happening, and to your point, two guys can say the same thing, but the way that one guy delivers it, you're like, oh, okay, that's it's a comforting thing, right? So
that made me think of I was listening to this podcast. It was like a security for Obama. And he didn't agree with Obama politically. Yeah, but he was like, man, Obama was so cool. You gotta love that motherfucker, man.
Yeah, well,
and part of that's because of the way he speaks, and his tone. He's like a master at communicating. So
there's no question about it. Barack Obama is one of the greatest orators. I love the word orator. One of the greatest orators of our lifetime. His ability to use words and communicate in such an effective way. And to your point, Marty, regardless if you agreed with his politics or not,
you gotta like the guy.
It was hard not to lean in and listen to what he had to say. You don't have to agree with him, but just to listen to what he has to say. You know what I'm saying, Johnny?
Well, yeah, there's that thing about a guy that communicates where, like on this show, we're here to be, full of energy, moving fast, so you wouldn't see that here.
Yes.
Right. But like, for example, if I'm in a one-on-one conversation or even a small group and I'm speaking, someone asks me a question, there's it's calm. There's that little pause. I'm thinking how I'm going to react. That's the type of, so when people just, that's that thing that you have a hard time really holding on to.
Yes.
But when they're, you can see that someone's processing, you can see that someone's choosing how they're going to answer. That's that thing that I think a human being doesn't even quite many human beings don't recognize, but it calms them down because they realize that they've been heard, and B, they're getting a valued response.
I notice that when we talk one-on-one, or Marty, you and I talk one-on-one, like there's our show conversations, but then there's our one-on-one ones. And I appreciate that. I had a chat with a fellow. We had a guest last week on the show. He'll remain nameless. We all love him. He's a great fellow. After the show, he's like, Keith, I'm really sorry that I was taking too long to answer. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, well, I was being thoughtful. I'm like, no, I actually kind of like when somebody's thoughtful with a pause and with a response. And he was like, no, but you guys go fast. You guys go energy. I know that's fine. We're doing a show here. He goes, but I thought that I was being too deliberate with the way that I was answering. I was like, dude, no. And then he revealed to me that he had a medical condition. And he's like, I society's judging me with this medical condition I have. And sometimes it takes me slow to process things to communicate. I'm like, brother, as a communicator, I like Marty calling you, for example. If I'm communicating with Marty and I ask him something and he pauses for a second or so to give me a thoughtful response, I'm leaning in going, I know Marty's listening to me.
Tell the guest, whoever, I think I know what you're talking about, but tell him that he's being fucking judged by the people that don't matter.
Yeah.
The people that matter are not judging that. They're appreciating that.
And you know what, brother? You know what I told him in a really polite, respectful way? I said, your own mirror's judging you. Because that's what it was, Johnny. Yeah. It was his own issue. I'm like, buddy, because he was all apologetic. I'm like, no, man, that's your own mirror. I said, you asked Marty, myself, or Johnny? No, none of us would have had any recognition of that. So that's your own mirror, my friend. So, but guys, listen, let's do the good morning, Amy Reiner. Good to see you there this morning. Amy, I was about to send you a text yesterday to see what was shaking here this week, and I got distracted. Guys, let's do the accountability check-in. Good morning, good time, and let's come back. I teased this conversation yesterday with Johnny and Marty. I texted you this morning about it. I want to talk about Shedeur, right, Marty? Shedeur Sanders. Mm-hmm. And how he drops from one of the a projected first overall draft picks to kind of like a remnant. And Marty, I want to hear your opinion on this. I feel like I want to hear from your generation. I want to have this conversation, how you go from being a prize to kind of being a bum, and what your POV on this and so forth, because I think
hold on. We can't say prize to bum. Okay, bum does not fucking go with, okay, you went from first round to whatever it was, third round. That's not bum. Fucking guy's already more successful than most people are ever going to be. You know, I think we got to bring up the bottom part of that scale, if you will.
Okay, so he's not a bum. He's just a pelvic bone or something. I don't know.
Oh my
God. Okay, that was a bad joke. That was a bad dad joke this morning, you guys. Yeah. Hey, we all have them. We all have them. Hey, listen, burnout thrives in silence. Most guys don't talk about it. Yep. We just grind through it. In the back room, in the bedroom, in our own heads. And I'll be honest, guys, I've done it too. Look successful. Think this guy's got it all figured out. Nope. Felt misaligned. Did the work anyway. Yep. But then here's what I learned along the way. That burnout isn't always about the hours. Sometimes it's a signal that what you're doing doesn't match what you value, or frankly, who you want to become. So think about with what's happening over there. And the longer that you ignore that signal, the more that it drains you. I will admit that I used to think that I was just tired. Turns out I was out of alignment. Now I check in with myself daily, frankly, every morning. I listen, I stop pretending everything's fine. My body and my mind say otherwise. Yesterday, I was in bed by 8 o'clock yesterday. Boom, in bed. Slept my contacts. Woke up going, sorry, Dr. Labby. Burnout doesn't make you weak, but staying silent might. So if you're feeling it, don't keep it to yourself. Talk to someone. Tell the truth. Even if it's messy, what do you have to lose? Because saying it out loud is how you stop, here's the word, gaslighting yourself. No, I'm fine. Are you really? It breaks the loop of denial. Only then can you make decisions that actually move you forward instead of just helping you cope, instead of just helping you get through the day. So think about it, guys. Ask yourself how you're feeling today. Are you burnt out for what you're working towards, or are you burnt out for who you think you're trying to be? There's the question. On the accountability check-in this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, the only morning show, help you guys get your ass out of bed with intention, with purpose, with inspiring conversation. It's entertaining, informative. Myself, Keith Billis, Jon Anderson, and C. Marty fitted guests throughout the week. All right, Jimmy, before we get to the Shedeur Sanders conversation, what's going on, Matthew Roof? Yes, Matthew's got us as part of his morning routine. I love it. Good to see you in the comments here this morning. All right. All right. Guys, here's a question for the community. Would you sleep better if someone paid you to do it? This morning, I'm going to dive into an innovative approach from Whoop. You guys know the Whoop band, a company that literally pays employees an extra money to get quality sleep. Yes, you read that right. They're paying you to sleep, and sleep isn't just rest, you guys. It's the cornerstone of performance, innovation, and productivity. And there's companies that are investing in employee rest, that are reshaping workplace culture and redefining what true productivity means. Whoop, a health-focused wearable company, offers its employees $100 a month bonus if they maintain a sleep performance score of 85% or higher. Think about that, Johnny. So you wear that Whoop brand, you get 85% higher, you get a bonus of $100. CEO Will Ahmed says that the sleep bonus program is a practical demonstration of the company's belief that rested employees outperform their sleep-deprived counterparts. I'm curious. What do you guys think about the whole idea of rewarding your employees for sleep?
I think that, in the current situation we're in, I think it's going to get people to think about it a little bit more. It's just fucking sad that people don't recognize that this is the case. I mean, it's like perfect example, man. I've been waking up before my alarm.
Yes, me too today.
And my alarm goes off at fucking 2:59. And Jesus Christ. But the idea is that I take care of myself and I get to bed on time so that I'm not fucking waking up feeling like I'm hit by a truck. And that to me is part of my value. It's important to me. And it's just fucking sad that people don't invest enough into themselves to do it. If $100 is going to fucking motivate you to take better care of yourself, holy Christ.
Yes. Marty, what do you think of that, brother? $100.
I think it's a good incentive.
Pay you to sleep.
I think it's a good incentive. A lot of people might not be educated. Can you hear me?
No, I think Marty's stuck there, Jimmy.
I got him. I got you, Mark.
You messing up.
I see him too, but I just don't see him moving. I see him, but I don't see him moving.
So you got to rock like Keith, dude. That's how he knows if he's rocking. Keith, you froze up for about 10 seconds right in the middle of your spot, brother.
I got there we are there. I don't know. We got Amy.
Johnny, you can hear me, right?
We got Amy coming in.
Right. Mark, you haven't missed a beat, man.
There we go.
Listen, Keith, I think it's time to invest in a Starlink, my brother.
Yeah, man.
No, everything's showing good on mine. That's the funny thing. Here we go.
Hold on. Well, let's quick question. Mark, who freezes up the most on this show out of the three of us?
Keith. I don't think Keith can hear me, though. I'm fine. Right? You can hear me, right?
I can hear you perfectly, Mark.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what's going on with Keith. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm good.
I like it when he rocks, dude. When he rocks, it's good. You know?
Yeah.
Apparently, according to Jimmy, he says everything's good over here. So can you guys hear me okay? You guys can hear me okay?
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you, brother. And you just can't. So let me run real quick. So you can't hear Marty. I can hear Marty, but you can hear me. Is that right, Keith?
Yeah, I can. I'm gonna do a reload.
I'll translate for Marty. You ready? Come on, man.
I got Marty in front of me too. I got Marty in front of me too. Here, it's all good.
I'm telling you, Marty. I'm telling what Marty's saying right now. Come on, man.
That's exactly what I'm saying right now.
Let me get some comments here before I throw to Marty here. Marty, what do you think about getting paid to sleep?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
Right. I was going to say, I think it's a great incentive. I think it's going to also force the employees to educate themselves on sleep. A lot of people don't know how important it is and how it affects their performance.
Yes.
So I think it's doing them, a little bit of personal and self-development too. But Johnny's right. You shouldn't have to have that incentive to want to get some rest.
Here's the crazy thing is it still blows me away that people don't understand.
I know.
We're talking about work. You want to make more money? Okay, maybe that's your focus. Maybe you want to get in better shape. Maybe you want better relationships. Maybe you fucking want them all. Well, guess what? Sleep is going to help you with all of those. Eating right is going to help you with all of those. Exercise. It's like if you focus on you, your whole fucking life is going to get better. And somehow people, it's too selfish. No, it's not selfish. Stop fucking watching that shitty TV and invest that time in yourself. And you'll level up. You'll be fucking happier, And then you'll also will laugh at this fucking stupid $100 bonus. It's actually making people fucking pay attention to their sleep.
You know, it's interesting.
Love of Christ.
It makes me wonder if more companies should incentivize their employees to sleep. So let me pause for a second. So Google and all the big tech companies over the years like, hey, come to the office, spend time in the office. We'll feed you. We'll give you all these great perks. Maybe the ultimate perk, boys, is encouraging our humans to sleep more. And I know it seems common sense, Johnny. I know it does. But maybe people need to be incentivized to sleep more.
Well, brother, you know what? I can say this because it's not in the middle of an interview. But when I'm bringing people on board, I ask all sorts of fucking questions. I'm figuring out how they live their life. And if they live their life like fucking jackass, they're not coming on board.
Yes.
I'm not bringing that fucking cancer on my team.
So
I want to know, hey, I had to ask fucking kind of weird questions because I need to get them talking, but I'm trying to figure out what time they go to bed. I'm trying to figure out how they eat. I'm trying to figure out if they exercise. I'm trying to figure out what their relationships are like. I mean, I even go as far as like the younger ones. I even go as far as to try to figure out, like, I'll usually talk about myself first, but I want to know, did they come from a broken home? Did they come, like, if they came from parents that are still married, that goes a long way in their character development.
I want to get
real quick, just to wrap up what I was saying. Maybe these fucking companies should pay a little more close attention to how people live their lives before they fucking hire them.
Well, so I want to get into that in a few minutes too, because I don't like the fucking you said air quotes interview, and people get so fucking delicate about what you can ask somebody and can't ask somebody. Let's put that on a side for a second, because that's bullshit to me. I want to lean into this. I want to really get at Marty's opinion on the Shedeur Sanders thing. I know we only got limited time with Marty here this morning. So Marty, I really want to hear what you have to say as an athlete, D1 athlete, former successful athlete. You follow this. You're of the similar demographic. Talk to me about what happened with Sanders, Marty.
So yeah, he was a projected number 1 pick and fell to the 5th round. Just pretty much to sum it up, right? We all know his dad is the great Deion Sanders, head coach of Colorado. So Deion is a chirper. Deion was going around doing certain interviews about his son, saying, "Hey, I don't want my son to go to a bullshit program. I have say so on what's going to happen with my son, pretty much, right?" And we all know NFL owners, they like to run their show. They don't like that. And so this goes to show that politics do play a part in sports. You can land up in the wrong spot.
That's an understatement, brother.
I mean, but people don't think that.
Yeah. Because they've never been in the fucking the matrix of I mean, and even forget professional sports. It goes D1 is basically it's paid now, but it used to be unpaid professional sports.
Oh yeah, and now people are saying 100%. Now people saying Shedeur is not that good, and it's you come on, man. He's one of the best in the country. Colorado had more wide receivers drafted than any other team. Who's throwing the ball to him? You know what I mean? So it's a big controversy right now. He's probably losing out on like $30 million because he fell to the 5th round. And hey, look, let's be real. I don't like to pull the black card, but I am a black man, so this shit is kind of obvious. When Eli Manning was coming out, and his dad said Eli's not going to any West Coast teams, it wasn't a fucking problem. But now you got Deion, who's a Hall of Famer. He's 100%. Hold on, real quick. He said he's saying he's going to have some say so with his son, and now it's a problem. It's kind of like, hey, stay in your place, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well, and I agree with everything you said, brother. But and I'm not arguing with you because I agree. But I'm just saying, just for the sake of the conversation, we've got to compare the Manning's dad to Deion Sanders in terms of hard to control. I think when it comes down to it, an NFL owner is going to look at Archie Manning and go, I can manage with this dude. They look at Deion and go,
that's true too.
This guy fucking does what he wants to.
That's true. That's true.
100%. But I agree with your point, though, brother. I mean, there's no question. There's so many sides to this fucking thing to argue.
Yeah. There's no question politics have a lot to do with it. I'm sure color has much to do with it, and I'm sure the personality, like you said, do I have Archie Manning? Do I got to deal with Deion Sanders? Well, I got to deal with Deion Sanders. I don't think I want that guy. And Marty, I got to tell you, man, I've been around enough hockey dads who are a big part of their hockey son's life, and I'm like, I don't want to be the fucking coach of that kid because that dad's in my face every single day. So I can't imagine. And I remember a conversation I had with some fellows at the Winnipeg Jets a few years ago. And there was a pro playing on the Winnipeg Jets, whose dad was calling the owner saying, why is my son not getting minutes?
Oh, yeah, see, that's crazy.
Like, can you imagine that, Marty? Like, I'm collecting a fucking paycheck playing pro hockey, and I'm calling the owner going, why isn't Marty not getting minutes? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'll tell you why. Because he is yet to fucking let his son fight his own battles.
Well, bingo. I agree with you. So back to the Shedeur Sanders thing, right? Should Shedeur be saying, I love my dad, but don't measure me in the same sentence as my father because I'm not my dad. You see what I'm saying, Marty? Like should he come out and say, don't judge me because of what he's done? I'm not him.
Well, he hasn't.
Johnny, Marty.
I was gonna say he hasn't said that, but he's been super positive about it and hasn't mentioned anything about his dad. So kind of in that same direction.
Well, think like this: you got some fucking regular dude with some fucking regular dad. Yeah. And that regular dad is a fucking superhero.
Yes, I know.
Now imagine you got Deion Sanders for a fucking dad. There's not even a fucking word. I mean, come on.
I know. Well, and you have Matthew Roof coming in. Matthew with Shaken Brother, who joined our show yesterday. He's like, Shedeur Sanders, check out his celly. I saw it too. After he got picked. Marty, did you see it?
What's his celly?
The celebration.
Celebration,
okay.
His brothers danced like he went first overall. And he's like, celebrate everything. He's top 0.5% in the world. Plus, he has a chance to learn and grow. When I heard the news, I found it fascinating. I wasn't surprised by it though at all, Marty. And Johnny, I wasn't surprised because we know that Deion is larger than life, and we know that he's going to bring baggage, whether it's positive or negative. And as an owner, you're like, I don't want to deal with that bullshit. I'm not picking that guy. I can see how obvious it is, Marty.
Yeah, no, I understand. And Deion also brings a lot of attention.
Yes.
Right. So the moment there is an issue, it's not like it's just going to be behind the scenes. It's going to be all over ESPN.
That's a good point too. Yes.
Well, here, real quick, the celly, I love that, the celebration. They were fucking celebrating like he was first round. That shows a lot about their character.
Oh yeah.
They could have been all fucking butt hurt, talking smack. No, they're like, fucking hey, let's go. So I think that needs to be pointed out. Someone without good character would be all fucking bent out of shape and walking around with a chip on his shoulder. Doesn't sound like that's the case.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. That's an absolutely fair comment because he did. He didn't pout, Marty, did it? Again, Johnny, he wasn't pouting. He was sitting there.
I don't know. I didn't see it, but it doesn't sound like it.
No, he wasn't, and I will give him credit for that. Right? He was sitting there waiting to be called, and then when he was called, he celebrated as any young man would. So I give him credit for that. He didn't pout, didn't make it because he did not make a big deal of it. He didn't make a big deal about it at all.
Well, here's what's happened. I'll bet if I had to bet, this is what I would bet. They knew this was coming down before it happened. So Deion sat down with his boy and they said, listen, let it happen. What's going to happen is going to happen. Once we get where we're going to go, we're going to fucking show them what's up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
and it's at that point, it's in the woods, man. It's time to move forward. That's how Deion did what he did.
Yeah. No, you're probably right, Johnny. You're probably right.
Guaranteed. He's like, you know what? This is going to create a really, really good challenge for us. Let's go. Because Deion has said point blank, everywhere that he goes with his boys, they basically completely rewrite how it is, which is for the most part true. So it doesn't matter what fucking round he's going in to do what they want to do.
Yeah, we're gonna do the fit tip here in a second, Jimmy. But that's right, because Johnny, you're right. I guarantee they would have said something because it would have given Shedeur the confidence to celebrate when he does get picked, and it's that confidence behind the scenes that it's okay, brother. Everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. So
I want to add this too, real quick. He also started off at Jackson State, which is a smaller school, HBCU, smaller D1 school. So you don't. That's a humble beginning. I don't know if y'all ever been to an HBCU arena or a gym. We used to play against HBCUs when I was in college. If you start there, it's a different experience. So he's probably just excited to be there.
Oh yeah. There you go. All right, listen, let's do that. Let's do the fit tip before we got to let Marty get out of here for the day. And we're going to keep the show rocking and rolling. Marty, let's get after it, brother.
All right, let's get it. All right. So, oh, yeah, I'm here. All right. When it comes to fitness, man, a lot of people come up to me and other trainers and influencers, and they ask, hey, what's your split, bro? And I'm here to tell you that your split does not matter. If you want to change it, what is a split? A split is how do you map out your workouts? Monday is chest day, Tuesday's leg day, Wednesday's back day, right? However you decide to do. Push, pull legs. Some people do it differently. I'm here to tell you it doesn't matter what you do. What can you stay consistent with, right? What do you like to do? What muscles do you like to focus? Some people will want to do a leg day one time a week. Some people will want to do 2. Some people want to do 3 leg days a week. Do what works for you. But the same principles apply. You got to stay consistent with it, right? You have to do it when you don't feel like it. All the shit we talk about all the time. Stop looking for the next best thing and focus on what you have right in front of you. Okay, this is my split. Let's do the split for 2 months. Let's give it 8 weeks and let's see what results I can get, right? You know, I see people, they do a different split one week, then they switch it up to another week. They do this, they're doing that. Listen, you're not going to see anything if you don't stay consistent with it and you don't have some faith, some belief that you can get some results from it. So obviously find something that makes sense, right? Find something that has been proven to work and just stick with it. Stop overthinking it. Stop overcomplicating it. Your split doesn't matter, bro. What matters is what you actually do with your time in the gym and how that nutrition is when you leave the gym. That's the fitness tip for today.
It doesn't matter, bro.
Doesn't matter. Like, just do something. Get your ass in the gym.
Should I do my arms today, Marty, or should I do my calves today, or should I focus on my
workout?
Should I?
Because it's real fucking easy to focus on the fucking shit that's easy. The split, that's easy. The fucking eating, that's the difficult part.
Should I focus on my gluteal left or my right gluteal, or what am I?
Come on, man.
Focus on getting in the fucking front door of the gym.
Keep it simple, right, Johnny?
That's it, baby. That's it.
Yeah, man.
Man, Marty, you got a rock and roll. You got a quick second for me to share something with you guys.
Go ahead, share it.
So there is. Would you sit in a tub of ice water for almost 24 hours?
Yeah. A tub?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Poland, over 200 participants took the challenge, rotating through ice-filled tubs for a staggering 22 hours, sitting in ice baths. Organized by, I can't say the name, this event brought together 200 people, and they sat in water for over 22 hours doing this never-ending cold tub bath, with the goal being to...
How much time between the shift of the tubs?
Yeah, so it was you sat for as long as you could sit, and then you get out and the next person sits in. So the goal was a group-long, basically, ice challenge, right? So it was these participants...
So you only do it once, is that right?
Well, no, you so there was...
You go back whenever you can.
Yeah, you get out and you come back in, but the goal is that it was how large a group of people could be in a whole cold tub of water for a long period of time. And they had 207 people, basically a tag team match, Johnny. 207 people that sat in an ice tub for 22 hours.
Yeah. I mean, it should have been. Thank God it was 200 plus people. If that was fucking 10, that's a lot. That's a lot of fucking cold.
That's crazy. Why? Why would you go?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Sometimes what? Guinness records I find and I read, I'm like, I don't know why. Like, who thinks of these things?
It's crazy.
Well, yeah, and here's my first thought when I try to think of it, yes, it's kind of silly, but maybe these people are like, I really want to start to get into doing cold plunges, but I need to do it in some sort of a team group setting.
There you go. That's
so if these dudes feel like, hey, I did it in a group, I can go home and take cold showers. Good for you.
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. 100%. Hey, guys, I got a deep dive conversation today about failing publicly. Marty, have you failed publicly before?
Yeah, plenty of times, man.
Of course he has.
Talk about
D1 athlete. You can't help it to fucking fail to get to that level.
Yeah. So when I'm
probably
make the statement, I failed publicly. What did I learn from it? From Marty, from Christopher Martin. What did you learn from failing publicly?
I learned that you got to be humble, right? You never have it figured out. It's always going to be a new obstacle to climb.
How did you address all the people around you that you failed in front of?
Fuck them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's simple. Fuck them.
Yeah. What do you say to somebody who's afraid to fail publicly, who would rather fail in private?
If it's a man or anybody.
Anybody.
Have fun trying to make real progress is what I tell them.
Yeah. I was going to say, if it's a man, take a look down. You got a sack of balls, use them.
Yes.
You got them for a reason.
Failing publicly is a fear that many of us have.
Sorry if that was too extreme.
Well, and the thing is it's people are far more afraid of what people are going to say because they failed than the failure itself, and that's the problem. When you don't give a shit, when you realize, okay, I'm going to do something that's extraordinary, so the ordinary people are going to talk. Yeah. And as soon as you realize if they're not talking, I'm not actually doing what I need to do. So you have to use that as like a roadmap. It's just people don't flip that around.
Yes, yes. Johnny, how old were you when you had your first failure publicly? Like a known one, like something that stands out for you where you're like, holy fuck, man, this is an eye opener for me.
I mean, are you talking about like failing underweight in the gym type scenario?
Well, maybe just generally in life, where you were making some public declarations to friends or family, or you're on a journey, you're chasing something, and it just didn't happen. Like it just you failed. Bottom line, you failed.
Well, I mean, if you're saying something like that, then I don't quit, so I never failed in that regard.
Oh, that's a good answer. I like.
But if you want to talk about all of the failures that it took to stay on that path, I would say probably early on, I was like deathly afraid of failing under a weight because my identity was to become this big, strong guy. And if I was dropping weights and failing weights, it was chipping away at my identity. And so, but that's also, so I would be the amount of like effort and oomph that I could dig out of myself to, not fail because I was so fucking scared to death of failures before I understood that I had to pursue it. So I've lived on both sides of the fence where I was running from failure like a motherfucker, and that made me work so hard. And then I came to the other side where like, if I don't pursue this shit, I'm never going to get to the elite status I'm looking for. So I kind of most people never stop running from it, but they're also too chicken shit to fucking, like when you say run, I'm talking, I would run until I finally failed. Most people will never even run. Like they won't even start the journey. They're afraid and they just won't take the step.
Marty, I got to think the same thing happens with you when your career ends, you're behind the bench, you're behind the desk at the gym and people are calling you out.
Oh yeah, I definitely ran away from it, man. Like literally ran away from it, taking random lunch breaks, bathroom breaks, just because I saw someone I knew from basketball in there and just trying to hide. But like I said, that next step finally happened for me when I just embraced where I am.
Yes,
and life can get shitty. But when you embrace it, you realize it's not going to be shitty forever, right? I'm going to get through this. This
show has been a wonderful metaphor for me to recognize how many people are really afraid of failing publicly. Mm-hmm. Like this show in itself, because we have live conversations every single day. People are like, oh, I don't want to. It's live. I'm going to fail. Yeah, that's okay, right? Yeah. And it's incredible how we as human beings are so afraid to fail in front of somebody else. Mm-hmm. And when you think about that, there's really there's zero common sense in it. Because you're going to fail, I'm going to fail, Johnny's going to fail, but yet we have this protect. And Johnny, to hear you confess that I was afraid that if I don't hit this press, my identity is going to be questioned. Like that.
Because keep in mind, I really hadn't taken the identity yet. I wasn't a big, strong guy. I was trying. Once I was a big, strong guy, I fucking miss weights all the time. That's how I got here.
But so
It's that thing of once you truly, accept who you are, become, it's like you've really, the whole thing starts to shift because you don't really give a shit what people say anymore. You don't give a shit what people think because you're so concerned with what you're doing. It's almost like a horse with blinders on. He can't see that dumb shit on the sideline.
I think about the goalie of our hockey team right now, the Winnipeg Jets. He was the best goalie all year, had the greatest statistics all year, and he's publicly failing big time in the playoffs right now, in front of everybody right now, basically, right? But here's my flip on that: you can't become the greatest at something if you can't fail at the greatest at something, right? Like, because you can't have both, because you're gonna fail a ton before you become the greatest.
I got the fucking statistic that will sum this up. And Marty, you'll like this, and I know I've said this shit before. So Michael Jordan, when he was playing, I know for sure he had the statistic that where he owned the most ever game-winning shots with an NBA player. Not sure if that's still him, but when he was playing, I know for sure. But see, to achieve that, Jordan understood he had to fail more than everyone. So he also owns the statistic of the most ever game losing shots.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael clearly understood. Jordan understood. I have to fail more to succeed. If I want to succeed more than everyone else, I need to fail more than everyone else.
Yep.
And as soon as you get a grip on that, it's like your mental framework around this word. Again, the reason we're afraid of this shit is because the fucking people around us have convinced us it's bad.
Yes. Yep. Well, and you have to look no further than marketing. Somebody will create a hook. I failed. And then it draws you in. Then you read the post. It has nothing to do with failure. It's all about it's all like my point in that is that nobody's actually saying, yeah, I failed. And here's what happened to me. Most humans, the hook is I failed. And then underneath it all, it's dressed up in all the goodness that happened, which actually wasn't failure. Because humans, for the most part, are scared to say that they failed at something. I have failed publicly. I failed building. Before I built ICUC, Marty and Johnny, I built a company called the Captive Interactive. It failed miserably, and I pivoted to make it ICUC. Before I was starting this thing, I started a company called Legacy Space, a VR, AR business around virtual reality and legacy. Failed miserably. Failed publicly on LinkedIn. I was pretty embarrassed for a while about it, but that embarrassment quickly went away, realizing that I was just like everybody else.
Yep.
They're all fucking stepping stones.
Yes.
You develop skills during that failure that cannot be taken from you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not here if I didn't fail over there. And Johnny, back to lifting weights, right? Like you're not lifting that 10-pound weight until you crush the 2.5 and until you crush the 5.
Well, 100%. And see, just to kind of encapsulate my journey with that lifting weights, in the beginning, I was running from it. Like I said, I was scared to death.
All right, guys, let's do it here. Failure. Let's get Jimmy.
Did he?
He's good. Johnny's good. Johnny's good.
Yeah, I can see him there. Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
So when I started being afraid of failure, I was just fucking running from it. But then once I flipped the fucking script and I actually would take a weight off a squat rack outside the cage saying, I'm going to fail. How many reps can I get before I fail? That's when things really fucking started to change.
Definitely.
It's just a completely different look at it.
Yep.
All right, listen, boys. Let's do the fit tip. Let's do the lifestyle tip with Johnny. Marty, you got a rock and roll, brother? You stick around?
Rock and roll, man. I'll be here tomorrow.
Beautiful. I love it. All right, let's do the lifestyle tip with Johnny. I think we're having
a good look, brother.
I think we're having some challenges with StreamYard. Actually, Jimmy's telling me here, so we're gonna keep it going here. So let's do it. Let's do.
Hey, Keith.
Yeah.
Keith, did you tell Jimmy and Johnny my Polish Jimmy joke?
I haven't told them the Polish Jimmy.
Ask me tomorrow. Ask you tomorrow.
I am going to ask you. I forgot about the Polish Jimmy joke.
All right.
Yeah. Get out of here, Marty.
See you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good look, brother.
All right.
You too.
All right, Jimmy.
All right, here we go. So we've been talking about failure. Let's just keep going with this shit. You see, what most people don't understand is that failure and success are like kissing cousins. It's you're yin and yang. You can't separate them. You need to fail to be successful. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Failure is a piece of the equation to become successful. So now that you understand this, you got to reframe it. you got to look at failure as basically your roadmap to become successful. Now, the challenge is to stop giving a shit what people think because you failed. Just because they don't recognize that failure is a part of the equation for success doesn't mean that you have to worry about them. See, here's the thing. If you want to do something extraordinary, the ordinary people are going to talk shit. And ordinary people are scared to death of failure. Not even so much of the failure. They're just scared of what people are going to say because they're too fucking worried about what people are going to say or think about them. Once you flip the script, everything changes. So if you're thinking about doing something and you're afraid of the failure, think about what is it you're really afraid of? Are you afraid of the people and what they're going to say? Or are you actually afraid of the failure and have to try again? Well, 99% of you guys are more afraid of what people are going to say. And here's the thing. If you don't stop trying, you haven't failed. Think about that. Rock and roll. You there, brother?
Beautiful. There we go. Failure's not a thing except for something with kids. Yeah, I'm here. I don't know what the hell's going on here with my browser here this morning. So here's what I'm going to do, Jimmy. I'm going to do two things here quickly. I'm going to do a little. I'm calling an audible while the show's going on here, Jimmy. I think this might be a browser issue this morning, Jimmy, because I'm having some issues with my Arc browser. It seems like this morning. So I'm going to double check it here. We're gonna do some transitioning while the show's rock and rolling here this morning. Hey Matthew, I got Amy Brunner coming in here as well.
Empty out the cookies like you told me to do.
Let's see here, Jimmy. I'm gonna get this over here.
I don't think you can't hear me, can you, brother?
I got it. That's exactly it. Yeah, I got it. Is that what it is? I got to empty the clip. Yeah, no, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. Hold on a second here.
When you had me empty my cookies and my computer made all the difference. Well, while he's sorting this shit out.
The funny thing is, I did a test this morning with Jimmy when we got this thing going here, and for some reason, it is deciding to act a little. Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing what you're saying, but I'm assuming everybody can hear me, so I'm going to keep talking about failure because I think this is a topic people need to understand. Holy smokes. I think we're good now. So the idea behind failure, like I was just talking about, is, see, when it comes down to it, we've just been kind of misled about failure. And unfortunately, the masses, the general public, has been convinced that failure is a bad thing. But here's the thing. When you look at people that have actually flipped that around, those are the people that have done great things. And usually, those are the people that you're trying to emulate, that you're trying to be more like. And the foundation of the problem is that they understand that failure is a part of getting where they are, and you haven't. And if you want to just like boil it down to like principles and a basic philosophy of life, when you learn to understand failure from the proper side of life, you're not going to procrastinate. You're not going to make the amount of excuses that you're making, because most times the procrastination and the excuse making is directly tied to what we're talking about. It gets you away from that. And the excuse making is direct thinking about, oh my God, what are they going to say if I try this and it doesn't work out? So it's much easier to make an excuse, much easier to procrastinate. And this right here is where the majority of the population of the human race lives, so to speak, of course. And it's so literally, if you think, if you want to do one single thing for yourself that can literally change everything, move the needle, this whole thing with failure is the root of so much of what goes on with people not getting where they want to go. So next time you find yourself making an excuse, next time you find yourself, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow, take a deep breath and think a little deeper. Is it really the fact that you're waiting for the right time? Or is it the fact that it's much more comfortable to say, I'll do it later or tomorrow, because it creates a little space where you don't have to deal with that uncomfortable feeling, the fear of failure. So, and again, this one simple concept can be life-changing it was life-changing for me. And when it comes down to it, you just have to realize, if you want to be an ordinary person and live inside the masses, then you probably don't need to worry too much about this. If you're happy making excuses, if you're happy procrastinating, or maybe it is that you just don't have these ideas of what you want your life to be that's better than you are right now, then this really doesn't apply to you. But I don't know that there's many people who don't have the thoughts and the dreams and the goals of making some sort of progress. And this simple concept is, one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle standing in the way. Now, to go a step further, you're worried about what people are going to say. You can also think, well, who are the people? Well, the people that love you are going to, they're going to see that you fail. To be totally honest, even the people that love you may talk a little smack, but those are the ones that actually are challenging to deal with. What I'm getting at is the people that you don't know, the people that are just acquaintances, the people from social media. Who gives a shit about those people? And the people that love you that are talking smack, they just don't understand. It's not that they love you any less. They just have never, ever had this idea of doing something and actually taking the action of doing something extraordinary. So, when I had that with people around me that were kind of talking smack, when I was trying to get my start, I just chalked it up.
What's up, Johnny?
I didn't understand. Are you back? Maybe not. Well, I could talk about fighting the fear of failure all fucking day, brother. So don't worry about this.
I know you could talk about failure all day, and I love it. I actually don't know. So here's the funny thing: is today's show's about failure, and my internet is failing on the show here today in real time, which is great. And we could I could freak out about it, or I can just take a nice pause and just get after like we're getting after this morning. And
I think you got like a 5-second.
I honestly don't know why it is behaving like it's behaving today, because it seems quite ridiculous. And now everything is frozen up in me this morning, which is a good time. Jimmy, am I still there? Are you still there, Jimmy, or what's going on? I think I still got a delay. Yes, I think I do have a delay.
It's like
I don't have anybody
seconds.
here. My browser's all frozen. And wow, what a mess happening here.
Well, it's 6 o'clock,
situation.
Brother. It's 6 o'clock. Maybe we should wrap this baby up. But until we decide to do that, let's keep talking about what we were talking about. So, excuse me. So we've talked about the people that are going to talk smack. We've talked about how you probably were convinced that failure is bad, largely because those people that are going to talk smack have convinced you that it's bad. Well, you've heard when I say people, you've heard high-performing people, probably people that you emulate, people that you respect, people that you look up to say that you are going to be very, very similar to the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, I would venture to say that most of you guys, if you looked around, are going to realize that the people around you are the ones that are still deathly afraid of failure. Now, when you surround yourself with people that have actually, whether they've achieved something great or they're working towards something great, these are the people. I'm a perfect example. When I see someone fail trying to do something great, basically, I will give a nice pat on the butt and say, hey, great job, get up and try again. Now, imagine if you were surrounded by people who treated failure that way. That would be, that would be a very, you would quickly develop a different perspective on failure. But the problem is most of us don't have access to people surrounding us like that. So what do? Well, the good thing with our world that we live in today, you've got the internet, you've got YouTube, you've got podcasts. There's so many ways to get the right voices in your ears. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to abandon the people around you. As you start doing something great, that will kind of take care of itself. The space between the people that don't support you doing extraordinary things will kind of happen on its own, because usually those people get uncomfortable and they'll distance themselves. So anyway, what I'm getting at is, if you realize, Jesus, everybody around me doesn't understand, and they still are they don't have the proper perspective on failure. Excuse me. And I don't know if they're ever going to. You can go find the right people via internet, via YouTube, and start listening to this shit. I'm a perfect example. I shouldn't say a lot. I've actually got a handful of good friends. When I say good friends, people I've been friends with for decades and decades. And some of them are like we're talking about in terms of, they get it. They see me, digging and trying to climb the mountainside, and they see me slide back down. They're like, hey, don't worry about it. Try again. And others, they see that, and they want me to talk about how terrible it was. Well, it's not terrible. It's just got to try again. So what do? The people that don't understand, I just have a little bit greater distance between myself and those people. Still in my life, and I have some things in common with them. Like I have some childhood friends that I'm always going to be friends with. But our lives just went very different directions. And because they went very different directions, there's only so much involvement I can have, largely because their influence or their input is the stuff that realistically I try to avoid. But it doesn't mean that I have to discontinue that relationship. It just means that I need to have it at a slightly different or greater distance. So don't think it means that if you're going to start to really go for it, that you're going to end up losing all the people around you. They're just going to the distance will be put between you and them kind of according to your belief system and theirs. So that being said, look around you and start to understand, who's around you and what type of influence are they giving you. And I would almost guarantee, even myself included, I am constantly seeking, people that talk in a way that helps me continue my mental, I guess you'd say my elite mindset journey. Because your mindset continues to evolve. And if you're either getting better or you're getting worse. There's nothing in the middle. And if I'm not constantly keeping the right voices in my ears, then I'm not going to move forward the way I want to. And if you took the 5 people that I'm around the most, I would say that, probably 1 or 2 of them, I don't see or talk to them that much. Now, granted, I'm around them. When I say they're the most, they're friends. I have to put them in that category. I just keep those people at more of a distance, and I bring others in through different type of, like I said, internet, YouTube, coaches. I've been a big one on coaches my whole life. I've had coaches for everything. I had coaches in my strength career. I had coaches in my wrestling career, coaches in my bodybuilding career. But what I'm getting at, I also had coaches in business. And I know this is kind of a drawn out term, but I've also had coaches in life. Because this is the stuff. If you don't have a coach to help you, I guess, change your perspective on how you see what's around you, it sometimes becomes quite difficult. This failure topic being a perfect example. So, I'm a big one on mindset. That's what I teach primarily. People look at me and they think, man, he must just teach lifting weights and nutrition. Well, realistically, it's the mindset that makes all that shit work. So I hear music, so maybe Keith is back. We'll find out.
I think I'm here, brother. I think I'm here. Thanks for getting my back. Well, I had to do the old reset on the old machinery here. Admittedly, I do not know what's happening here today. I'm having because I'm running some bandwidth tests here. Everything is going pretty fast. We just seem to have some stuttering here, but hey, we failed publicly, and here's why we're glad we did it. That's how we learn, man. We just go through shit along the way, right? So that's how it works.
We didn't really fail publicly. We just had a detour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. I love it.
Failure mean we shut it down.
Just like your drive to the vet yesterday when you were driving down the road in the Razor, making sure you got there on time with the dog, eh?
Dude, I got to tell you, when I'm fucking hammering this thing and I get this thing up to speed, I look down. I didn't realize I looked down to like 95 miles an hour. And then all at that time, I realized that, holy shit, the steering wheel's not doing much right now. This thing's kind of going where it wants to go. It was like, whoa. It's time to get on my fucking toes. And I looked down and realized, holy Christ, I don't have my 5-point seatbelt on. This could go fucking bad real quickly. So I need to pay attention.
Yeah.
Are you still froze up, dude?
I got something funny to ask you a question. I don't know what the hell's going on with my shit here. Jimmy, am I frozen or am I still there or what? I'm doing some rocking here. I think I'm in good shape.
I can see you rocking right now.
There,
I think it's just me coming back to you. I think you can't hear me on time.
Yeah, I think there's something going on there. So I'm we're gonna make it through the show here today, and then we'll work towards getting it fixed here for later. Hey, Johnny, how many push-ups have you ever done in a row?
We got 7 minutes. I got to go at 15 anyway, so it's actually works out well.
Yeah, okay. I have a guest who's supposed to show up, and I might be bumping him out if I keep having these issues. Hey, Johnny, how many push-ups have you ever done at once? Do you know?
Oh, a good question. But there's actually this thing called the walking 20, and I did it, but just barely squeezed it off. And so it answers your question, but in kind of a weird way. But if you do the math on this, you're one of those brainiacs. You probably figured out. You put basically 2 marks on the ground, roughly 5 to 10 feet apart. You drop down on put an X on your car. Do 1 push-up. Get up, go to the other one, do 2 push-ups, right? Go to the next one, do 3, 4, 5, 6. You go all the way to 20. Most people will never finish that. They get in the teens, and that's all they got. But I finished that thing, and it's in the hundreds. I'm not sure how many, but it's fucking brutal.
So I found somebody today. There's a fellow named Pop. Dude, there's a fellow named Pop Lorenzo who did 3,300 push-ups in 1 hour.
That's a lot of push-ups.
After failing 6 times. That's what I thought you'd appreciate this. So he faced disqualification 6 times over 6 years due to strict form criteria from Guinness. The previous world record, Johnny, was 3,249. Get this. He did an incredible pace of over 56 push-ups per minute. So, but hold on a second here. Yeah. So
that's like just a little more than a second per push-up.
Think about that, man. Like bang, 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 bang. Basically 1 per minute. That's incredible to me.
That's nuts. Well, and you think about that is my first thought is I think about the burn that comes in when
Jimmy. I think we're having a big issue here. So Johnny, let's. Yeah, I know that's crazy, man. Johnny, let's do this, man. Let's work towards wrapping it up here, pal, because I'm having some big tech issues here. So, I for some reason I have a delay, and I'm not sure why. So, Johnny, let's walk you out. I got a guest here I'm going to talk to in a quick second. Let's walk you out. We'll get this fixed up for tomorrow, and let's get out of here. And I see Axel on horizontal as well. So, Johnny, so you're gonna get after today. We'll get after, and we'll resume this in 24 hours. Okay, pal?
Have a good loop, my brother.
All right, pal, you too. All right. Jimmy, Johnny's gonna get out of here, and we're gonna keep me up on the simple feed here, Jimmy. I don't know if this is a mutual situation going on here with a guest, or if it is just happening on my end. But I can see Axel on the horizontal. I see Johnny was on the horizontal. But I'm concerned, Jimmy, that I might have some delays here as well, Jim. Let's see. So, Axel, I do not see you on the vertical feed there, Axel. If I can get you up on the vertical feed, that would be great. Yeah, and good time. I have everything hardwired. True story. I do. I think that there seems to be a bandwidth issue happening. And the funny thing is that I had right now. I have everything's plugged in. I don't know why we're having these issues. Great live content this morning on the show here. And now my guest has just left. So we have, we did supposed to have a guest in the vertical. Yeah, I thanks, Fit Presenter. Thanks, Mike McCoy. And now I see Axel on the vertical side as well. So we're going to keep getting after it here this morning on Mornings in Lab with Keith and Friends on the only show that fails publicly in front of you. So Axel, I see you on the vertical. I need to see you on the horizontal feed as well, Axel. So if I can get you on the horizontal feed as well, that would be great. And, yes, and Lady Drew, I see your comments there as well. Amy Reinhardt, I see you guys there as well. I appreciate everybody's patience here this morning while we're sorting this thing out. And now I see Axel on the horizontal as well there, Jimmy. So I think, do we have them on both here now, Jim? Yes, we do. Excellent. Okay, so hold on, Jimmy. Before we bring him up here, I'm going to, because we're going to find out pretty quickly, Jimmy, whether this is a Jon and Keith thing or whether this is a Keith and guest thing or whether this is just a Keith thing. We're really going to find out really quickly here. So we got a guest who was going to join us here last week, but we had a few, I think he might have got sick, but we had a few things happen, but we got him here today. We got Axel Quintana, who runs Sturdy Agency, a high-performance content and growth consultancy for elite health coaches. Specializing in productized content systems, Sturdy Agency leverages YouTube authority. Jimmy, maybe we'll get some free advice from Axel here today. Short form repurposing, automated VSL funnels to transform personal brands into efficient client acquisition engines. Axel emphasizes lean, disciplined, result-driven strategies, helping health coaches scale authority without chasing trends or burning out. Coming up here in a second, we got Axel Quintana join me here on Mornings in Live with Keith and Friends. And I'm hoping that my internet keeps it going here along the way here. So Jim, if we're ready to rock and roll, I'm going to do the hook here and we're going to bring Axel in here. But guys, what if posting less content could book you more high-ticket clients? Today's guest doesn't just preach minimalism. He built an entire agency around it. Let's meet the man who turns health coaches into YouTube-powered lead magnets. Let's meet the man. Let's meet Axel Quintana. What's up, Axel?
Hey, what's up, kid? Thank you for having me.
How are you, pal?
I'm doing good. How are you?
How are you, man?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Now, admittedly, I'm having some tech issues here today. I don't know if it's going to be me or you, or we might have to I'm doing great. We might have to redo this because I think that we might be having some issues here today with StreamYard or with something. Jimmy, are there issues going on here or what's that? He's good. I think then Jimmy, is it me? Let's go, Axel. What's shaking, brother? Axel, where are you joining me? Where are you joining me from today, brother?
I'm joining you all the way from Mexico, brother. Can you hear me? Hello?
Nice. Whereabouts in Mexico?
Hello, from Sonora?
You know what? I think that I do know. Yeah. I do know it. Jimmy, I don't I see your comments there, Jim. Yeah. Jimmy, let's pull Axel off the stage here for right now. And we're going to reset this here, actually. Yeah, exactly. We're going to reset this. So Jim, here's what we're going to do, pal. I'm going to wrap this up here today because I don't know what's happening here. I actually do not know what is happening here today, guys. So I'm going to get this sorted out and we're going to come back here tomorrow on the big show, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. I seem to be having a delay. Axel, can you hear me? Just give me a nod. Can you hear me, Axel? Good. Okay, awesome. Axel, I am having technical difficulties over here. For some reason, I'm having some troubles hearing you guys. So I got to reset this here today. So I got to reschedule with you, Axel. I'm sorry about that, but it's just we got to reschedule this right now because I'm not able to converse with you because I'm having some internet issues here. So there's something going on with all this. It's just not working properly here. So let's Jimmy, let's do that. We're gonna make a call here, pal. We're gonna wrap up today's show. Axel, you're good with that? I'll bring you back in a future episode. Okay, pal? Awesome. Thanks, Axel. I appreciate it. All right, guys, listen, we're going to get out of here. We're back tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Myself, Jon Anderson, C. Marty Fit. And we're going to bring Axel back in the future for a future guest appearance. Axel, I'm glad you're here today, pal. I don't know why we're having these issues here today. I'm as frustrated. And yes, Axel, stick around there in the green room, okay, pal? Jimmy, let's get me out of here. Axel, hang around, buddy. Hang on for a quick second. Jimmy, let's get me out of here, pal. See you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X.